Relax, it's just sports. And before we say anything else, please subscribe. Is that quick enough? You told me to do it quick off the top.
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple, YouTube. We want this show to keep going, and our bosses, I think, are only going to let it keep going. If we have been trending very well in the right direction.
Yes.
Patting Taylor on the back because I literally do nothing. We have been trending in the right direction. Thank you for your engagement on social. Please, if you could on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, 5 stars, comments, say good things about us. Even if you're lying, it'll be your one good deed for the month. That's all we need. Good?
And maybe all press is good press. If you want a bad comment, throw it in there too.
Yeah, no, you could listen. You guys are bashing. I got some crazy TikTok comments this week about, some I probably shouldn't even say, that I'm a bad guy because I said Shohei Ohtani isn't human. And apparently that is not something nice to say when I meant it fully as a compliment because it was the greatest baseball game I've ever seen in my life. We're going to talk baseball, but rundown of the show, we're talking Bengals. They won on Thursday Night Football. It feels like a lifetime ago at this point, but it also at the same time, it's Flacco mania across the city. So we're going to talk Bengals win. We're going to talk the Bengals getting ready to play the winless Jets. The Cincinnati Bearcats are in 21st in the country. They are 4-0 in the Big 12, 6-1 overall. They are a play away from being 7-0. Absurd. They got homecoming against Baylor this week. We're going to talk that. We're going to talk a little bit of college football beyond that. I know you went to the Kentucky game.
I did, in fact.
Yeah, we'll talk UK. I'm sure you'll be super thrilled to do that. We're going to talk MLS playoffs quickly because I want everyone to know what's on the line. FC Cincinnati is the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. Massive rivalry. Hell is real. Don't care if you like soccer or not. This is so fun. So we're going to talk MLS playoffs. Obviously, I'm going to make us talk World Series. And basketball season, NBA literally starts tonight. Yeah. Well, I guess at this point, yesterday night. Last night. Yesterday. Does anyone ever say yesterday night? The post eve of day yester. So yeah, we're gonna talk hoops. We had a couple exhibitions for UC and Xavier, and then of course our Cincy dude in the news to wrap it up. That feels like a lot,
but we're gonna do it fast.
We're gonna do it. No, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it well.
Well and
fast. Okay. The Cincinnati Bengals defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers 33-31 with quarterback Joe Flacco. Are you kidding me?
Insane.
Flacco mania. Flacco threw for 342 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jamar Chase sets a franchise record with 16 receptions, over 160 receiving yards, touchdown. T. Higgins, 96 yards, touchdown.
Could have been 2.
It could have been 2, and it should have been 100 yards because he would have gotten those last few yards. He slid to stop, which was the plan. There's a great screen grab of Andre Yoshivas. I don't know if you saw that, where he played third base coach. Shout out Charlie Goldsmith. He's actually the one who pointed that out. And I was like, that's incredible. And Chase Brown, first game over 100 yards. I said it on this show last week. Should we start with Chase because or should we start with Flacco?
Let's start with Flacco.
Okay, yeah, because let's give Unk. I'm gonna say Daddy. Let's give Unk some respect.
Please, yeah, let's leave it at Unk.
Holy cow! First of all, the sports equinox on that day. It was 40-year-old Joe Flacco against 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers, and 41-year-old Max Scherzer got the win for the Blue Jays that day. It was I feel bad because I keep calling 41 super old.
Yeah.
In our world it is.
Yeah, in the sports world, that is elder.
It's funny because it doesn't feel like it because of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
In my eyes. But neither here nor there. The last time there was 2 40-year-olds playing in a football game, it's only happened twice before when it came to quarterbacks, and that was Tom Brady against Drew Brees, which happened twice. So this was the first time outside of the Brady-Brees matchups. Flacco looked absolutely incredible. The first couple drives, it looked like they were still figuring it out, and then bang, something clicked. You know what clicked?
What?
Throw the ball to Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Everything else will work out afterwards. You got to remember, Flacco, there was always this thing around him that he is the PI king. He's got an absolute cannon at 40 years old. His arm, I don't think, has gone down at all. Throws seeds. He's smart. He understands. And the most important thing, this is going to sound so cliche, he's a football player. At the end of the day, whether or not the play he knows correctly, or he lets Jamar call it, whether or not it breaks down and someone runs the wrong route. And we saw this on that naked run he had for 12 yards.
Yeah.
That was a miscommunication. That was not supposed to be the play call. I feel like most other quarterbacks, let alone 40-plus-year-old quarterbacks, but most other not super fast quarterbacks, they would have audibled out of that. Joe Flacco goes, coach wants me to run, I'm going to run. I asked Flacco after the game about, because Zach Taylor brought up that maybe it was his accent, his Oklahoma accent, that was getting them a little bit confused. Flacco said there was just like some miscommunications. He has to get used to Zach's cadences. And because of that, he was making a lot of, not a lot, but he was calling the wrong play at times.
Yeah.
Including the touchdown to Jamar Chase, right?
Well, I believe Flacco said that Jamar kind of called that and was like, actually, let's do this thing. And he said, perfect. Yeah, that makes sense for me. Awesome.
But like, that takes someone so comfortable in themselves at quarterback.
Yeah.
To be like, I got it. And that's what Flacco's been his whole career. Like, maybe Ray Rice wasn't calling plays at running back or Steve Smith at wide receiver. Maybe they were. I don't know. I wasn't around that Ravens team. But he is so secure in himself and his role on this team that he's okay with saying, okay, Jamar calls the play, that's fine, and maybe it should work. I trust this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Burrow trusts this guy.
Or even reading a play and going, okay, that play makes sense, but also I'm looking over and I'm seeing Jamar one-on-one, and I can easily just throw that over. Let's do that.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really important. I mean, my dad's a high school football coach, and when you coach high school and the level of talent is low, the number one goal is to keep it simple. You just want your best player to have the ball as many times as they can. That is what the Bengals are doing now.
It's so funny, not to get off the Bengals, but I talked to Scott Satterfield today. We shoot our Bearcats All Access show, and the one thing he told me that's different about his offense this year is they said we're going to simplify it. And we're going to get to the Bearcats later. They're rolling, but yeah, the simplification of the offense. And I think Zach Taylor's even mentioned like they're keeping their offense simple right now. They're adding to it every week, and I'm really interested off this like mini bye how different will this offense be against the Jets, because quite honestly, the Jets are a team that you could try things against. Not that the Bengals could really try things against anyone right now because they need every single win, but I think everyone understands what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, you got Sauce Gardner that you don't want to play around with at corner, but besides
But that's about it.
Yeah. So Joe Flacco, like, something's cooking. There's a real path. I spoke with Chase Brown one-on-one. You could see that. That's on all my socials. And I got Chase and I are pretty close, and I was asking him about Flacco and the spark and all that, and he goes, dude, it's 100% real. Like, yes, open the run game, and we can talk about the run game in a sec, but what I really like, what Chase Brown told me, they said in one of their meetings, is the same thing all the fans are saying, which I love that, because what the same thing that all the fans are saying is we could be 3-0 going into the bye week. So that means the Steelers win, the Jets this week, the Bears the week after, bye. You're 5-4. I appreciated Chase telling me that, because that's a real peek behind the curtain. And to fans, that might not seem like a lot. You could ask 53 players in a locker room if they would talk to you. What are you hoping, what are you guys talking about? They'll be like, the next game's the most important game. We're going to, like, they are even saying, be 3-0 to the bye. I know it doesn't sound like a lot.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what the fans are talking about, and that's what Chase confirmed to me.
Yeah.
And take my word that if I'm so hyped up about, and again, Chase trusts me a lot, we're close, we're cool, and a lot of guys are, but particularly Chase, that I have heard this conversation every single week, for every single week I've covered the NFL, so years now. And they rarely will give you beyond a game. They're thinking the same way the fans are, get to 5-4.
Yeah.
And then anything happens, 5-4, now you're talking about end of November, Burrow in theory second week of December. But if you're, don't get ahead of yourself. Fans, focus on this week. But I thought that was a really interesting conversation with Chase,
I think that it's important to note, though, not talk about for a long time, that yes, Flacco, canon, Aaron Rodgers, also a canon. That was just simply like one of the best games of the season, period.
So fun. And on a Thursday night, which Thursday night games I feel like are usually
They're
stinkers.
usually terrible.
No, it was like time traveled back to 2012.
It was amazing. I mean, that last Hail Mary, I was getting flashbacks as a Detroit Lions fan. Like, oh my gosh, he's literally, to get that 70 yards or 69.8, whatever stat they had, to get that 70 yards and actually give them a chance, I was shook. I was like, what is this game?
I mean, it feels like it was so long ago at this point, but like listening back to what Joe Flacco talked about, he goes, no, I knew the game was not over with 7 seconds.
Yeah.
He goes, I've seen him do this way too many times. One other thing to bring up about Joe Flacco's press conference, Ben Baby and I were kind of tag teaming, asking him questions. Ben Baby, great reporter, he covers the Bengals for ESPN. Ben asked Joe Flacco, did you ever think you would get this feeling again? Because Flacco was talking about how happy and excited he was. Everyone picked this quote up. And he was like, honestly, no. Like, 11 days ago, no. So then I followed up. And you could see how he was really being genuine. And Flacco is genuine. Really being genuine about it. Like, wow, I'm so blessed to be here, blah, blah, blah. He's always talking about his kids. So then I asked him about his advice for his kids. And that just took off. Because he was just like, yeah, do the hard things. And it was like, he's like, I had no idea. I could have said no to this opportunity, but I didn't. And I could have said I don't want to start this week, but I didn't. And like, look what it's created. And in that moment, it didn't, like, rarely do I feel like I'm not listening to a player. Like, it felt like I was listening to, like, being in that room, the energy of that room. Yes, he was talking about what he would say to his children, which he has 5. It really felt like he was giving life advice.
Yeah.
And it was like a motivational speaker. And I was like, I walked out and I was like, wow. The next day I went to the grocery store, which I didn't want to go to. Because
he said, I got to do the hard stuff.
I did the hard things. I want the Trader Joe's protein pancakes. The last 5 times I went, they've been out of stock. I wasn't supposed to go, but I was like, I want to do the hard things. It was there because I went the 6th time. So thank you, Joe Flacco.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Joe Flacco, for all of that.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the run game a little bit?
I do want to talk about the run game because I said it on this podcast that I thought this would be the Chase Brown breakout game. It was. Zach Taylor would not call it the Chase Brown breakout game. He was like, we were doing the same things. It was just a game script. Enough of that. Chase Brown breakthrough game. It was, I said on our TV show pregame that if Chase Brown runs for 100 yards, the Bengals will win the football game.
Happened.
And I think we will continue to see it happen now. I think he needed to break the seal. He had the most important thing out of 100 yards, even if he ran for like 90 yards, it would have been fine. He had 2 explosive runs. Before, he had a 27-yard run and what was it, 17-yard run, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
The longest Bengals rushing play before that was 11 yards.
Yeah.
I think by Samaje Perine.
Yeah, not even him. Yeah, it was like a 3rd down that I don't even think got them.
Oh yeah, it was
down.
yeah. And a lot of that rushing, no. So, I spoke to Chase about it, and he's like, listen, the offense, it gets opened up by the pass. So sometimes inversely, we always talk about how the run game opens up the pass game. Well, the pass game also opens up the run game. Joe Flacco opened up the pass game. They're like, oh. I think his exact quote was like, they can't just like completely stuff the box and say, we're going to stop you now.
Yeah.
So he's like, and then you got Jamar and T and Dre. The way this offense was designed to be.
Rate.
And yeah, Chase Brown, I think if you haven't bought stock yet, I think now you're too late. Mm-hmm. But it's just like Bitcoin. Don't talk about how you didn't buy stock earlier. Buy it now because I think he's going to have a big game against the Jets. I think he finds the end zone again.
He should
against
the Jets. Yeah. I want to also quickly talk about another person who was at the game, did not play, but people care about.
You talked about me already.
Please. Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Or as you called him, Aaron Rodgers Jr. essentially. Joe Burrow was at the game.
Well, he had to see Aaron Rodgers.
He had to see Aaron Rodgers play. No, he was at the game. He sported a new haircut.
Yeah.
That was very much the summer I turned pretty Conrad. I'm sure a lot of people understand that reference.
See, I don't. I was thinking more like he was going to break out into like, where are you? Because I'm so sorry.
It's very pop punk, but it is only pushing the agenda that he looks like Conrad from The Summer I Turned Pretty, a very popular show. But he was there, very involved, talking. There's a lot of clips of him like hanging out with the guys, actually like helping them, cheering 100%. Them on.
And that's who Joe is.
And that is who he is. He just hadn't been there before, so everybody was like all eyes on Joe.
Yeah. Also, just like the hair. He always knows what he's doing. He's always, I like Joe. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's an overall like nice person. Mm-hmm. He always says, oh, I just do what I want. Like, I don't care what people think. Come on now.
Debuting such a hair.
Come on now. Come on now. I know his barber And his barber has told me, I've done a story with his barber when he got his haircut. But then he went with the long hair the first time, and then the bleached hair. Like, stop! You know what you're doing. And that's okay. Like, just own it.
And what you're doing is making like 47 fan cams on TikTok because that's what I see when I turn on my TikTok. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the Aaron Rodgers Jr. and him that you claim.
So you're like really digging deep on Aaron Rodgers Jr. To call back, I said I have friends in the Milwaukee and Green Bay market who said and we have talked, that a lot of what I tell them about Joe reminds them about Aaron Rodgers. And I said, initially no, but now I'm starting to see it.
And you pointed to today an article from GQ that talks about what?
GQ's put out an article that Joe
I
Burrow
just want
put
to
out
hear
a
you
picture.
talk about this.
Yeah, I'm super. So Joe Burrow put out an Instagram post of crystals.
Yes.
And I believe Aaron Rodgers is a crystal guy. And I believe that stems from his relationship with Danica Patrick. Tell me I'm nailing this.
No, you're right so far, yeah.
That was when they were in Green Bay together. And I remember Danica Patrick being really mad that people used to recognize her and come up to her. And the thing they had instead of Whole Foods in Green Bay, the things I remember.
Yes, great job.
And Aaron Rodgers, very big on like crystal stuff, I think, from this relationship. And now Joe Burrow's using crystals to help
Possibly.
Possibly. This is all allegedly.
Yeah, so Joe Burrow posted...
To heal his toe.
Yes, Joe Burrow posted a picture on Instagram.
Did I nail that?
Mostly, yeah. He posted a picture on his Instagram story, which he does not ever post on Instagram whatsoever. Only like pain
Once
after
a month,
an injury or something.
Oh, except when he makes a statement like, when he's like, NFL, we go into Madrid, like stuff like that. Yeah.
But otherwise, he's pretty quiet. He posted a picture of crystals put together that GQ then investigated, talked to an astrologer.
Because when I need an investigative report, I go straight to GQ.
And I honestly loved it because not only did he talk to an astrologer, but this astrologer moonlights as a tarot card reader, energy healer, manifestation guide, and life coach. So I said, perfect.
Imagine that business card. Did you see this before I sent it to you?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
My friend sent it to me.
Okay, so like, I thought I was that deep in the world, and I almost was very concerned.
No. My friend sent it to me who like loves Joe Burrow. But I was reading the whole story, and they basically said that the way that he set up those crystals was about intention, strength, peace, removing negativity, and stability. So and according to how big the crystal is like how hard he's doing things. So right now he is focused.
So he's down bad right now.
That's what it sounds like. Once again, he could have just been taking a picture of crystals at like anything. He could have been like, whoa, look at these.
My grandfather was a geologist, went to UK, and he had geodes and crystals all over his house. I don't think he believed in any of the healing powers. He just thought they were cool.
Yeah.
Could have been that. Maybe Joe Burrow was hanging out with a geologist.
Yeah, or maybe he's really into crystals. So if the energy healer / tarot card reader that they spoke to is right, he should be back and
tomorrow.
Ready. Unfortunately, no.
Oh, the crystals aren't that good.
No. They're only able to hit the date that you have already decided by medicine. So, so hopefully he'll be back when he is projected to be back.
I need that job. I studied the wrong thing at school.
I couldn't agree more. I'd love for people to pay me to tell them what to do.
I'm going to let you create this social clip.
I will.
Between the two of us, but I really think I nailed it. I want to make sure I'm in that.
Let's talk really quickly because
also, I think Joe Burrow's good. Like, we'll see. Like, jokes aside, like he is working hard to come back.
I'm excited to see him come back if Flacco maintains what he's been doing.
Yeah.
I want to talk just barely, really, about the Jets. Mostly about your connection to this game.
Oh, that I was cursed and born into it?
Because otherwise the Jets are not a foe that I feel the need to talk at length about.
But you know what? The fact that you don't feel you need to talk at length about the Jets, like this is the trap of trap games. The Jets are not going to go winless this year.
No.
They are going to win a game or two, maybe three.
They couldn't possibly be the Detroit Lions.
No, they couldn't. Who could?
Exactly.
But I don't want to get into a deep Jets rant, but I do really believe that the Jets are following the blueprint that Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions did.
Yes.
Like, I think the Jets are going to have a stinky year, maybe start to figure it out towards the end. and then start to build after that.
Yeah.
Just miss the playoffs, and then maybe, again, this is the Jets. But
I'm with you, though. I have faith.
I like Aaron Glenn as a head coach. I think they have some playmakers. All the guys I talked to in the locker room this week are like, Barrett Carter said it best, the Bengals linebacker, they are a nameless, faceless opponent because they have dudes. Breece Hall is a very good running back. They have Garrett Wilson, a very good wide receiver. Sauce Gardner, top 5 corner in the NFL. They have individual playmakers. Individual playmakers don't get you to the playoffs, but they can steal you games.
Yes.
And the Bengals are coming off of a high. They just had to win this really tight game in prime time. Now they have to play 1 o'clock Sunday against a winless team. Like, this screams trap game. So, well, do I think the Jets will win? No. You bring it up because I grew up a Jets fan.
Famously.
Yes. I would go to games every year. My dad and I watched every Sunday. Not famously, but my parents are coming to town for this game.
Famous to me.
Famous to you because I told them my parents are coming to town for this game. They're staying with me. And when they asked me, when the schedule came out, they're like, hey, can we stay with you and come to town for the Jets game? Obviously, yeah, of course. They, first of all, luckily did not buy tickets in advance because they have plummeted in price. But with where the Jets and the Bengals are, my dad and I, for context, every year since I'm in 2nd grade, he buys us both, because his birthday is February 10th, so it's always right around the Super Bowl. He buys us each official Super Bowl jerseys, and that's like been our tradition since I'm like 7 years old. It's a little weird now that I'm like a full-time sports person, but for him, I'm happy to do it, and it's fun. So, this clearly not the Super Bowl, maybe it's his Super Bowl, but he texted me and my mom in a group chat saying, I'll pull it up. So he's coming to town in a couple days, and he said, I ordered a Joe Flacco jersey for me to your apartment. Do you want one? It may not come in time. My mom hit me with 3 of emoji, and I said, no, I do not want one, but thank you. The reason being, I don't get jerseys of the players I cover.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I fully know Joe. I'm not going to
wear his jersey around.
Fully working. I will be in a suit.
Yeah.
But thanks for the offer, Dad. And then that was last Saturday. Today at 11:45, I get a text. Marshall, my jersey should be delivered to your apartment tomorrow with the tracking information. So
your dad, the Jets fan.
He supports wherever I've ever lived, and I've been working here for about 4 years now. He watches every Bengals game, watches every UC football game, watches a lot of Reds games. Like, he fully buys into the city. If you see us around town this week, he will be in all Cincinnati swag. 100. I don't even have the Cincinnati swag he has. He I think bought homage. So he's a great dad, very supportive, and his spins. I go, but Dad, I thought you were coming for the Jets. He's like, well, I couldn't wear Jets stuff if you were there. I'm like, I don't care. You can wear whatever you want. And then he was like, well, no, this is me supporting the Jets because if the Jets go winless, they get the first overall pick. So shout out Les, he kills it. So that's my personal connection to this game. My parents haven't even bought tickets yet. I said just buy them the morning of. If a sponsor wants to sponsor what Game Time, StubHub, any of those. TickPick, yeah. You have on here who will start at quarterback for the Jets.
That's what I want to know.
IDK, my BFF Jill. You remember that?
Yeah, of course.
Doesn't matter.
No.
I asked Barrett Carter also about that and about how do you plan for 2 different quarterbacks. And he said, believe it or not, they prepare for the backup quarterback every week. I thought that was interesting. I said, well, how much time do you dedicate for that? Because it kind of seems like a waste of time for some teams. And he goes, yeah, well, we look at snap counts, but a week like this, we fully have to prepare for 2 quarterbacks. Justin Fields obviously much more mobile than Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor is mobile. Yeah. So I think they're just going to say, let's go play football. Yeah. And I think they should be okay.
Yeah, I agree. Is that all you have for
Do you need a score prediction?
I'll take one.
Well, I figured that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bengals win 20-13.
Oh, that's nice. I was gonna say 31-6.
No, the Bengals play to their competition almost always.
They do, yeah.
And the Jets haven't really gotten demolished that often.
You know what I'll say? I think if Tyrod Taylor plays, it'll be much closer. So That's my one take that I have.
Did you have any other questions about the Jets for me, or that was?
I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
But thank you though.
I know.
I have no further questions about.
Well, you said, is that all you had to say about the Jets? So that's why I was.
No, I'm actually A-okay. Don't worry about it. I'd love to talk about a better team.
Yeah. Okay. But hey, who knows? No, I think the Bengals win this game. Which I hope they do, because then they're 4-4.
They're 4-4, and your New York Jets get the first pick in the draft.
I'm happy for the city I live in, and for the guys I cover, because that's most important to me, because that's who I deal with. Okay. The Cincinnati Bearcats football team, 21 in the country. Head coach Scott Satterfield on the Bear Bryant Coach of the Year Award watch list. Brendan Sorsby, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Because he plays at Cincinnati, they're not talking about him for the Heisman.
But I'm hearing more draft chatter
about yes.
Because there was almost none, even though he's been decent.
He leads the country in touchdowns.
Yeah.
He has the highest rating by Pro Football Focus in the Big 12. Mm-hmm. If Cincinnati rips off, if Cincinnati gets to the Big 12 championship game, if Cincinnati wins the Big 12 championship game, he has to be a Heisman finalist. Mm-hmm. I don't think he will be, because he doesn't have the recognition that some of the other quarterbacks do. But I think that's a dang shame, because this kid is a baller.
Yeah.
Baller. He had one bad game against Nebraska and everyone wrote him off.
It's unfortunate, but that was the biggest game. Yeah.
It was the first game of the year.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
And the toughest. That was the loudest environment I've ever heard.
Yeah.
He's been a baller. First 4 drives against Oklahoma State. Now, Oklahoma State stinks.
Terrible.
But it was homecoming.
A good crowd.
Great crowd. Mm-hmm. We could talk about the Banana Congo line in a sec. That was amazing. And say what you want. Interim head coach, I get it all. They're still a Big 12 football team. And I think they're better than UCF. First 4 drives, 4 touchdowns. And here's what I love about this Bearcats football team. They're the most Scott Satterfield told me today, they're the most balanced offense he's ever coached. 2 weeks ago, Cyrus Allen had 1 catch.
Yeah.
And he's one of their best wide receivers. Against Oklahoma State, 3 touchdowns.
In the first half.
Yeah. Caleb Goody, 1 catch this week. Other weeks, he's had 2 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. What's he going to do against Baylor this week? They brought in the right guys. They buy into Satterfield. I think back to a conversation I had with All-American defensive tackle Dante Corleone, who another one of those guys I have a really close relationship with. He was on the Fickle teams, and he's one of the only guys who is still here. There's a couple, Gavin Gerhardt, the center, who was one of the top players, who was here for Fickle and stayed for Satterfield. And I'll never forget, we were sitting down, we were having lunch together, eating famously the Godfather Burger at Bucketheads on the west side. That's Dante's NIL burger. And I was like, how is this guy? I only met Satterfield once. He was a really nice guy. And he goes, dude, we love him. Mm-hmm. He goes, he's players first. Like we respect him. We love him. And then I saw them win 5 games, 2 years in a row. And I'm like, and I talked to Dante again this offseason. He goes, dude, we love him.
You're like, when will that love become something else?
But we're seeing it.
Yeah.
The Bearcats defense has been the issue. They've been bend, don't break. Satterfield always calls them bend, don't break, bend, don't break. They finally did the good things. They got their first interception of the season. They scored their first defensive touchdown of the season, and it was a 100-yard pick 6, and that record will never be broken. It is a Bearcat record. Mm-hmm. Matt McDoom is the one who did it, the cornerback. Another transfer. Satterfield killed the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Tough one this week.
But their quarterback is also turnover prone.
Baylor plays everyone tight.
They do.
And Satterfield told me that there is no lead that he will feel safe at this week. If you look at, so Baylor's 4-3. Their losses are a field goal to Arizona State. They beat Kansas State by a win. The other loss this past week, they were down by TCU and came all the way back.
Yeah, but I don't think they came within 14.
6.
No, but they came back in the third, and then it was gone after
Sure,
that.
But
I don't think TCU was ever shaking in their boots. But
maybe they should have been though.
Maybe.
They went to double overtime and won against SMU earlier in the year. Like, this is a sneaky good football team. They return a ton, and Baylor gave fits to this is a totally different UC team, but gave fits last year to UC. I don't know. I think it's a tough game. It's homecoming. It's at home. 4:00 game. Wear red for the Bearcats. If they win this game, they'll be ranked in the top 20 in the country.
100%, yeah. I think Baylor came into the season with super high hopes because, I mean, they went to a bowl game. They were great. And they've been pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
But could still turn their season around.
100%. Around the Big 12, Arizona State beat Texas Tech last week. That means UC fully controls their own Big 12 destiny.
Yeah.
Because they still have BYU, which they get in Cincinnati. I have that circled as a potential college game day
That would
location.
be fun.
I think I was looking at it. I was looking at it the last couple of days. It does nothing else that week jumps out from the Big 10 or SEC. I mean, maybe there's
Which is where they go all the time.
And there's an argument to be had there because of the new Big 10 and Big 12, new Big 10 and SEC. If you were to have done this schedule 2 years ago, they would have already been to the four to five Power 5 because they've gone to the Pac-12. They've been to Oregon. They went to Norman, so they would have been to a Big 12 school.
Yeah, but now it's
They've
just
been to
SEC.
Miami.
Yeah.
They've been to an ACC school. So I hear that, but it's also like it's just the world we live in now.
Yeah.
But they are getting a lot of flack for that.
I know.
But,
I saw.
But I don't buy that. This would probably be their first Big 12 week if it was BYU versus UC. I think that's November 22nd is that game. A lot of time before that. UC and BYU both have to go undefeated if that were to happen up until that point. Their biggest tests left are BYU and Utah, so you just can't lose the games you can't lose, which is against Baylor at home. Like you got Cincinnati's only impressive win to me this season is Iowa State.
Yeah.
So you need to just keep building because I remember when we first planned this show like a few months ago, we said, who knows how much time we're going to talk about UC because they're not going to be good. Like we both were like that.
Yeah.
And we are both wrong because they are a good football team. Mm-hmm. Banana Congo line.
Banana Congo line. Amazing. Literally, I have never seen...
College football's the best.
College football's the best, but I have never seen such a coordinated effort like that. I've seen plenty of bananas. I've seen...
They're all in Savannah.
I've seen plenty of people
the Chargers
doing
were bananas this weekend.
Waves, unfortunately. I've seen a lot of crowd work. A Banana Congo line that ate. That was my favorite thing I've seen.
I thought it was great. If your team stinks and it's homecoming, just have fun.
Literally.
And that's what they did. Oklahoma State understood the assignment.
Don't watch the game. Go around the stadium.
I was with Matt McDoon today and we were chatting. He's the one who the cornerback who had that 100-yard pick six. And I was like, what'd you think of Oklahoma State? It was your first time there. He goes, dude, the bananas? That was crazy.
He said, I was shook by that.
Yeah, so shook that he picked them off at his own goal line and took it 100 yards
He
the
looked
other
around,
way.
saw them dancing, and was like, I'm trying to join the party.
Yeah,
Let's go.
He just stopped running. So shout out Oklahoma State. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, you guys. So we talked about Baylor a little bit. They're coming off the loss to TCU. You mentioned Sawyer Robertson. That's who their quarterback is. There was a lot of turnovers. We'll see. This is an experienced Baylor team. I think this is going to be a test for Cincinnati at home.
Yeah, I agree.
For funsies, you went to Lexington.
I did.
You saw Arch Manning, and you saw Kentucky almost upset Texas.
And it was...
Is upset a strong word there?
No, I think it would genuinely be an upset, yeah. It was one of the worst games I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, come on. Did you watch the Bengals-Vikings game? Did you watch?
Yeah, I have.
No,
this was just terrible. As a lifelong UK fan, I already had low hopes due to the fact that we are just simply not good this season.
Yeah.
So I went in and I was like, you know what? It'll at least be fun to watch Arch Manning, see what Sark has. Sark had nothing. Arch Manning sucks. I'm willing to put that out there. And I know at the beginning of the season you were like, hey, people are being too hard on him. I don't disagree. It is his first full year starting. He cannot pass the ball.
Yeah.
It's actually,
doesn't look good.
It's a problem. And Kentucky's defense was getting so much praise because the game ended up being 16-13 in overtime. So everyone's like, Kentucky's defense really held them together. In fact, they did it. In fact, there were at least 4 players open at all times that Arch Manning simply could not throw to.
Here's a question that I hate, which is so first takey. If his last name wasn't Manning,
Would we care?
would we care?
Well, what interests me is that
I think we would because he was such a highly touted prospect. But but it's chicken or the egg. Would he be as highly touted of a prospect if his last name wasn't Manning?
And that's a great question.
Like as a Nepo baby.
The thing that I think is kind of interesting that I'm investigating myself is
okay, Pablo.
he was a top. Thank you. Taylor Whiter finds out. He was a top prospect. Quinn Ewers was a top prospect too when he got to Texas. Both of them kind of, yes, the team was good, but due to the running backs, due to good defense.
Yeah, Texas always gets good dudes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I actually think that Sark is not using his QBs the way he should.
Is Sark just maybe not a good head coach?
That is what I witnessed in front of me. Yeah. I mean, I was watching him make decisions that made no sense. Kentucky got a stop on, I think Texas was on the 35 or 30. He said, no, we're going to punt it. Then the next time they come back down, they get stopped on the 40. So this is a longer field goal. He says, come on down. The guy kicks it, aces it, kills it.
Yeah.
Then the next time he comes down, we're going to punt it. And I was like, what's the decision-making process that we are currently making? And unfortunately, I could not find it. Texas was struggling. They did not look good. And Kentucky, there's almost like no positives to say about Kentucky.
Basketball team looks pretty good.
Basketball team looks great, and I'll talk about that
I was
more.
just looking positives of Kentucky.
Yeah, no, but I watched that team and
great time to drink bourbon.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Keeneland before the game. It was
Hell
fun.
yeah, last week Keeneland.
Yeah,
I might be going Thursday.
But I watched them and was like, what decisions are we making? Are they disciplined? Is anything happening? And the answer is no. And the good news about losing to Texas, despite it being like an overtime long game, is that Mark Stoops doesn't get to say, I upset a ranked Texas. So my fingers are still crossed.
Taylor's hater hat is like locked in right now.
100%. Like, Mark Stoops, get fired. I can't wait. Like, this is my push. This is my agenda. I've been doing it forever. And I also think most Kentucky fans agree.
Satterfield wins 3 more games. Stoops gets fired. Does he do the reverse Patino?
I don't think it counts as the reverse Patino.
I don't know. I just was thinking who else has also coached at Kentucky and
yeah, but Patino literally like.
No. I know. I'm just like.
It's a little different, but absolutely not. No,
I don't think so either.
No,
that was just like off the dome. Like,
yeah.
I also think Satterfield's happy here.
Yeah,
but I did, and also like he's got to keep winning. But that was just off the dome. Like, that'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't think I would love. I just needed another human being, but unfortunately, he has like a $20 million buyout or something.
Yeah, but they could afford that. Like, I'm over that.
I know. Let's collect our donors and pull something together, guys. Please, I'm begging.
Yeah.
Begging. So, terrible time.
Happy to be your shoulder.
Let's stop talking about football. Let's talk about football.
Oh. Why do we have to assume it's Spanish? Why can't it just be football like England?
No, I just love football.
Okay. Football is life.
Yeah, exactly.
Danny Rojas. Hey, Danny Rojas. I love Ted Lasso. Is it chuggy to say you love Ted Lasso? I love Ted Lasso.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's very millennial of you.
Whatever. MLS playoffs. Hell is Real. For those who don't know, Hell is Real is the FC Cincinnati rivalry against the Columbus Crew. Why is it called Hell is Real? You know that really random sign on the highway that says Hell is Real? Nailed it. That's why. Mm-hmm. They're chippy games. They don't like each other. Yada, yada, yada. All the games, whenever it's FC Cincinnati or Columbus, for some reason, it's always chaos. Mm-hmm. The fans travel really well because it's only, 2 hours. Columbus is like a team that's been around. FC Cincinnati, relatively new to the MLS, and both teams have been very good recently. Mm-hmm. FC Cincinnati defeated Montreal on Saturday 3-0 to advance into the playoffs and get the number 2 overall seed, getting the number in the Eastern Conference, which was a little bit of a disappointment because in Major League Soccer, you can win what's called the Supporter Shield. It's like the President's Trophy in the NHL. It's the number 1 overall team. For non-Americans, that's a big deal. But we in America. And
Period.
So, they're the number 2 overall, number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. They're taking on Columbus. The MLS Cup playoffs make no sense.
Yes.
The first round, there's a wild card round. Both of them got the bye. That's the 8 versus 9 game. Cincinnati and Columbus in the first round will play best 2 out of 3. After that, every round is just single elimination. Mm-hmm. But for the first round, it's best 2 out of 3. The way it will split is next Monday they play in Cincinnati. The following Sunday they play in Columbus. And then game 3, if necessary, I think it's like November 8th.
Yeah. And that would be in Cincinnati.
That would also be in Cincinnati. So this is a fun rivalry.
They played in the playoffs.
They played in the playoffs, but they've never played in the best of 3 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So 2 teams that don't like each other, fan bases that despise each other. If you haven't gone to a Hell is Real game, like I've covered many of them in Cincinnati, Columbus comes hot, and like they get in each other's faces about it. Whether or not you like soccer doesn't matter. If you like sports, it's fun.
It's just a fun time.
And it's Monday night.
There is no 0-0 draw.
Yeah, straight to PKs, which is electric.
Yeah, there's also no extra time. So you're literally just watching it. Oh, it's even right now. Let's go PKs, which is the best time.
And when one of my favorite soccer games I've covered in the U.S. was 2 years ago, this round, best 2 out of 3, FC Cincinnati went to play the New York Red Bulls, and it went to PKs. And the fans were like throwing, like, don't do this. But they were like throwing stuff at specifically Matt Miazga, who's still on FC Cincinnati, but he came up through the Red Bull system before he went overseas to play. So, like, the rivalries come out in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And this is a great rivalry. Highly recommend. I'm seeing a lot of pushback online that people are mad it's a 6:45 game. Get over it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of us have jobs.
But that's what people are saying. But like, you could get out and if you have a regular 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, you could be at the game for 6:45. You just maybe can't go to the bars beforehand. And if you want to go to the bars beforehand, that means you're a super passionate FC Cincinnati fan. Use your PTO. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Aren't you happy it's not on a Bengals game?
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I was gonna say. Like, let's just enjoy what we have.
Yeah. So, and then if it was at 8 o'clock, they'd be mad it's too late. Enjoy it. I'm excited for it. Do you have anything else you want to say about this matchup?
This matchup specifically, no. If they win, they would play the winner of Nashville and Inter Miami.
Yeah.
Which would
obviously
be,
Miami, Lionel Messi. That's what everyone talks
and
about.
because they're the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, they would host it.
A playoff game against Messi here. They've already had a cup game against Messi here.
But never a MLS
playoff game. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be electric once again.
Electric.
That one does go into extra times, but
yeah, when we covered Messi the first time, he had more security than when J.D. Vance was at the game, the Vice President of the United States. That's not true. There was way more Secret Service, but it felt like it wasn't.
Yeah, and I'm sure the crowd understood who he was more than they did J.D. Vance.
Oh. There was more Spanish than English in that crowd. It was it was amazing. Covering that game was a spectacle.
Yeah.
I will say, though, not to be like, America's not as far in soccer. I have seen Messi play in Europe twice. I will never forget, I saw him play. It was when he was with Barcelona, played against Valencia in Spain. And Valencia is like famous for like having this like smaller stadium with like metal bleachers all around it. And the players stay in a hotel across the street from the stadium. And there were like fans with like a big cauldron with smoke in it and like making spells in Spanish as Messi walks across the street. Soccer fans rock. All right, NBA starts at this point tonight / tomorrow. Big local guys that we follow. I mean, a lot of Pacers and Cavs fans in our area.
I think there's some Pacers and Cavs fans, but I would actually say that this is an area ripe for whoever wants to present an idea to them. Like, I really think a lot of the people,
I hear that.
A lot of the people that I have talked to and been around are like, yeah, I mean, like, I kind of tune in when like LeBron or somebody big is playing.
Right.
So let's give them somebody to care about. Let's give them somebody to cheer for.
Deuce McBride, man of Moeller, Cincinnati kid, played for Bob Huggins at West Virginia. He's the backup point guard for the New York Knicks. He's an important role player. Had an amazing playoff run. Just wrote a children's picture book. Nicest guy. Never forgot where he came from. Was actually a star quarterback at Moeller.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did you not?
No.
Amazing quarterback at Moeller. And guess who his number 1 wide receiver was?
Who?
Jackson Hayes of the Los Angeles Lakers.
No way.
And they were a sick duo. Jackson was amazing as a wide receiver, but when you become 7 feet tall,
what's the point?
Yeah. And he was a first-round pick. He was top 10 pick by New Orleans. Now Jackson plays for the Lakers. And Deuce and Jackson are still like this.
Really?
Yeah, they're super tight.
Jackson Hayes, who's trying to play for Luka's national team.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
I just watched an interview with him where you're allowed to have one naturalized citizen.
Yeah, well, I did a story on Carlick Jones, if you remember,
Yeah.
from Louisville, who played at Aiken.
Yeah.
And he played for South Sudan and took over the Olympics.
Jackson Hayes is hoping to join Luka. So
if Luka could pick one guy.
I think Luka did. Like,
Yeah.
I think Luka presented
Well, they both play together.
That's
They're
what I'm
teammates,
saying.
Yeah.
I think Luka's team was like, would you like to represent us? And he was like, yeah, I'm not going to make the U.S. team because they don't even do tryouts.
Yeah,
So-
no. I mean, and like, respect to Jackson Hayes. He's like a veteran of the NBA, but like, he's not a top 2 big man in America.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's just too many people.
Yeah.
Especially with Joel Embiid being American. So.
He's their naturalized citizen.
Yeah.
Jackson Hayes' dad is the AD at Moeller.
Oh, that's awesome.
He used to be involved in the Bengals coaching staff. So yeah, like deep Cincinnati roots there. A lot of Cincinnati, like Deuce McBride. Like if you could go back and find his high school football tape, kid was a stud.
That's awesome.
Like, he was Mr. Football, I'm pretty sure. Like definitely double check me on that. Mike Dyer will double check me on that. But yeah, amazing family. Like I am a Knicks fan, but I'm also a Deuce McBride fan. Like
Yeah.
if Deuce were to play somewhere else, I would still be rooting for Deuce.
That's beautiful.
Luke Kennard from Middletown,
Yes.
Atlanta.
And was a crazy good high school basketball player
Yeah.
in Ohio. So we've got major cities. We've got LA, we've got New York, we've got Atlanta.
Yeah. And you know, if you're a Roger Bacon fan, you have to be rooting for LeBron because you famously are the only ones who could beat him. So that was a deep Cincinnati joke. Okay, so we'll talk more NBA throughout the year, and because there are Cavs and Pacers fans here.
Yes.
And I think because a lot of people live in Cleveland, and the closest team to us is Indiana. Okay. Baseball, World Series.
Well, first-
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I forgot the
Yeah.
stuff I actually wanted to talk about with college
You
basketball.
want to talk about Media Day.
I want to talk about Media Day, and I want to talk about exhibitions, honestly, more than Media Day.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about Media Day?
No, I just wanted to say Media Day is now. There was a really fun tweet from.
I'm just so
Richard
excited for
Pitino.
baseball, that's why. But yes, there was. No, I want. So yes, there was a fun tweet from Richard Pitino about Media Day, about how, because Rick Pitino, his father, is the head coach of St. John's, and he's like, oh, this could be it for me. And Richard Pitino was essentially like, yeah, Media Day makes everyone want to retire. But
And he also said, I can't wait for Media Day, where
Yes.
instead of being asked about Xavier, he will simply be asked about what it's like to play his father.
we're going to have a deep dive on Richard Pitino's X, formerly known as Twitter account.
Yes.
My favorite tweet, though, happened after his exhibition game. Mm-hmm. Because the other ones, I'm like, okay, like he's just funny.
Yeah.
This is like, because Rick does this too. So he gets this from his dad, the tweeting. So Xavier played Murray State in an exhibition game.
The Murray State Racers.
Murray State Racers. Murray State won by 5 points.
Rough.
Murray State's a good mid-major team. They should not be beating Xavier.
No.
So Richard, after the game, and also Xavier looks like they're going to be in trouble this year. They just do. They have a lot of the New Mexico. It takes time to build a program, and it's going to be hard to build in the Big East with a new coach.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Richard Pitino's going to figure it out. I just don't know if it'll be this year. They'll find wins, but after the game, and when they lost by 5 to the mid-major team, thoughts on tonight, Richard Pitino, this is. 1, the game doesn't count. I repeat, the game doesn't count. 2, gotta finish at the rim better. 3, game pressure was good for our guys. 4, didn't win the rebound battle. 5, have to guard the three-point line better. Back to work tomorrow. I don't even need to go to his press conferences anymore.
No.
It's going to give me one of these every game. Done.
Yeah, give you a debrief on Twitter and then move on. I like that.
I mean, that's what half of the internet does when they come to journalism.
Speaking of exhibition games,
Yeah.
UC had an exhibition game as
Against
well.
Michigan, the preseason number 17 in the country, UC went up and won by a basket.
I'm obsessed with exhibition games because it's like, you'll never believe what happened. Like, this team demolished the top team, and then they come out and it's exactly what you thought. They suck.
Yeah, I'm not super worried about the exhibition games. I just don't think Xavier's going to be very good because as of right now, I don't think they're a very good team. I mean, things can change.
They just have a lot of mid-major guys.
Yeah, a lot of the guys transferred from New Mexico, and like Richard Pitino, when I spoke to him when he first got the job, and we were just chit-chatting, I'm like, what's your biggest challenge? He's going to be like building a roster. Mm-hmm. And that's not a knock against Xavier. That's anywhere starting over. Unless you're like at a perennial blue blood, you know, like a Kentucky or like, you know, Calipari did at Arkansas. Like, unless you're like a guy who can bring the guys with you and they can immediately compete with a deep NIL pocket, which like I don't think Xavier's NIL pockets aren't that deep, because if they were, Sean Miller would still be coaching at Xavier.
Yep.
And I think Richard Pitino is a very good basketball coach. Like I think he will figure something out. I just don't think it's yet. UC, West Miller's great at getting freshmen. They have some great freshmen. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. That Michigan thing means nothing to me, but they did win.
Absolutely not, no.
They did win, and it's better to win than lose.
Wise words by Marshall Kransky. Let's talk about baseball.
You win or you learn. That's what a coach loves to say. You win or you learn. Let's talk about baseball, because I've only said we're going to talk about baseball 32 times.
Yeah. Let's spend the final minutes just you talking about everything your heart desires with baseball.
The ALCS was so good.
It was great.
It was so good. George Springer, go-ahead home run, down by 2 runs, 3-run homer, 4-3. They win. Vladdy Guerrero Jr., MVP. I feel bad for Cal Raleigh, the big dumper. I feel bad for Julio Rodriguez. I feel bad for the city of Seattle. I went because I'm a sicko. I listened to Seattle local radio after the game instead of watching the Blue Jays. I had the Blue Jays on mute, and I was listening to Seattle local radio, and one of the guys on the call was talking about how his 6-year-old son called him all upset. And he's like, he's only 6. Could you imagine how these lifelong fans feel after never making it to the World Series? I feel so bad, but I can't get enough of it. And I like Seattle. I got nothing against the Mariners.
Yeah.
So I loved the ALCS.
It was amazing.
The NLCS, Shohei Ohtani had the greatest baseball game I've ever seen from a single person. People are saying, well, Bob Gibson. And yeah, that was great too, but
Let's talk
10
about
punchies, 3 homers. 1 ball that hasn't landed yet. It was Friday Night Football here, and I had the game on. I made a noise where it was like a visceral sound that came out of my mouth when he swung at a second at bat. I didn't know what. It was unbelievable. So, World Series, Toronto, LA. You got the number 5 payroll in Toronto, the number 1 payroll in Los Angeles. Why do I bring this up? Because big picture, this offseason, Major League Baseball is going to go into negotiations with the Major League Baseball Players Association, the union, the players. Major League Baseball, and it's been brought up a few times this year, Rob Manfred and Bryce Harper allegedly went at it in the Philadelphia Phillies clubhouse earlier this year because Manfred tried to talk about it, and Bryce was like, get out of here with this. Major League Baseball, the owners want a salary cap. The players do not want a salary cap. Obvious reasons on both ends. The owners want it to be an equal playing field, and they want to be able to stop spending because they're spending billions.
They want the Dodgers to be able to stop spending.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's what the Reds want. That's what the Brewers want. That's what all the mid-sized markets want. And even some of the big markets want it too because they want to be like, okay, I don't have to spend billions to compete.
Chicago's owners are cheap.
Exactly.
There are plenty of people who don't want to spend the money that the Mets guys will spend.
The Mets, Dodgers, the Yankees, the Blue Jays would spend more if they could. It's just that people don't want to play for the Blue Jays. Maybe that'll change now, but they just don't want to play in Canada. So the reason that this is important is there is this trope that and then from the player side, they don't want to deal with this because they want to make as much money as possible.
Yeah.
The reason this is important is because the Dodgers having the biggest payroll in baseball, they sweep the Blue Jays, who have the 5th biggest payroll in baseball. It'll just be more fuel to the owners saying we can't compete with the Dodgers because the Dodgers not only went through the playoffs, they sleptwalked through the playoffs. They dominated.
They dominated 2 teams that had the lowest payrolls.
Yeah.
They dominated the Reds. They dominated the Brewers.
Yeah. So, with that said, this offseason is going to be very interesting because what it's going to come down to is the owners saying that we want to stop spending. The players saying, no way, why would we agree to this? And it's going to be who gives first. Who is going to sit, because we might start missing spring training, we might start missing games, and will it be the owners who are going to be starting to not make money from their businesses because people aren't going to games, there's no TV deals. Is it going to be them, or is it going to be the players who are like, wait, I'm not getting paychecks right now?
Yeah.
And maybe some of the guys who are on league minimum, who are only making $1 million, $2 million a year, are going to be like, I need a paycheck because you only get so many years of Major League Baseball. Mm-hmm. Because they're not all the Bryce Harpers who could play for 20-something years, et cetera, Max Scherzer.
Yeah.
So, I think this World Series will have a lot to do with it. If the Blue Jays could win, or if the Blue Jays could make it go 7, I think this will actually hurt the owners' arguments.
Yeah. Because you can say, look, we beat the big giant.
We
It
could
doesn't matter.
compete.
Anybody can do this.
It would have been better if the Mariners made it because of the 15th payroll, but I think I think for the good of baseball, it would be good for the Blue Jays. However, it's so fun to watch the Dodgers.
Yeah.
This might be the first time in American history that all 50 states are rooting for a team from Canada.
Period.
Because
Well, 49 would. I don't think the people in California overall are not rooting for the Dodgers.
why not? You have all of Northern California. So
I
San
know
Francisco.
Northern won't, but I think like
Come on, all the Angels and Padres fans hate the Dodgers.
I know they do, but I still think there's too many Dodgers fans.
There's a
to
ton of Dodgers fans.
Yeah, it'll overload it.
Yeah, but between Padres fans, Giants fans, Sacramento A's fans, and all 4 Angels fans. So that's what's on the line for this World Series, like beyond baseball. I think it'll be a fun World Series. I love the star power from the Dodgers. I love Vladdy Jr. I love George Springer. Bo Bichette should be back in for the Blue Jays. We don't have to go too far down this list. We'll do a World Series recap or update next week.
Why don't you talk about something very important? What happens if the Blue Jays win? Who gets a ring?
Our Cincy dude in the news. That was why you saw me real time switch David Bell, the Reds' former manager, but you forget that he was actually a third-generation Cincinnatian. He played at Moeller. His father played at Moeller, and his grandfather was a Cincinnati Red, originally from Louisville. So Gus Bell, Buddy Bell, David Bell. David Bell was an awesome dude with the Reds. I enjoyed him as a manager. He was a very good guy. People are talking about the year he gets fired, the Reds make the playoffs, but people are also talking about the year he leaves the Reds. He makes it to the World Series as his official title is VP of Baseball Ops and Assistant GM for the Blue Jays. I would love to see David Bell get a ring. Like one of the good guys of baseball, one of the great baseball families. I would love to see David Bell get a World Series ring. And that's our Cincy dude in the news because he went through it here in Cincinnati, and to see him get success so quickly and comes from like a lineage of Cincinnati baseball people, I would love to see David Bell get a ring.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. That's it?
That's it.
Awesome. Again, if you don't subscribe and like and all these things, our bosses are probably going to cancel our show. I'm just saying that. They probably won't. But I'd really appreciate it if you did. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, engage on social media. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Relax. It's just sports.